So how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Chicago here. I had my live stream going and I lost my connection, so I had to start a new live stream here. We'll see if this works. I had to do this, I don't know if it's because it's cold or I was just zooming into the searchlights and I lost it there. So we'll see if we get anything back here. We'll if we do, we'll film the house with all the Christmas trees. If not, I'll just call it a night because we already got some stuff here. I think there's a few people tuning in. Is anybody tuning in here? Let me turn on the comments here. There we go. Yeah, we got comments. Okay, good. So, okay, Grandma's Corner, thanks for coming back. Sorry I had to stop and restart the live there. Thanks. For some reason, when I zoomed into those searchlights, the exact same thing happened to me the other night. When I zoom in, sometimes I lose my screen, and I think it's because it's cold or something. I don't know. Maybe it's this phone's getting old or something. Hey, we thought the aliens got me. Good. I kept showing my face there. So here, we'll head back across. What we'll do, we have to walk back down to Armitage. So we'll cut down Dayton Street a few blocks, and then we'll cut over to Burling there. So here's the nice house that has the skeletons. You got some nice Christmas decorations here across the way. We walked by this earlier. We'll let people come back in here. Thanks for coming back to the second live there. I had to end the other one and messed up all my statistics, but that's okay. This happens. Sometimes you got to just start a new live. But hey, thanks for coming back, everybody. Thanks for coming back and that'll teach a lesson to all the people that were watching that didn't subscribe. They'll be like, man, I was watching this great live stream and I didn't subscribe to this channel, and then it went dark and now I can't find them. And that happens because that's happened to me, where I was watching something and I before I was able to subscribe to their channel or follow them, I somehow got disconnected, or somebody called my phone, and when I went back, the live was ended. And then I went to follow him, and I couldn't follow him, and I can't find him again. I kept searching, stuff like that happens. It's impossible to find anything on social media. And if you want to example this, if you ever lose your account, there's people that you were friends with that you'll never find again. It's impossible. There's people I remember from my first account that I cannot find them, and they can't find me. And I remember what their little picture looked like, and because I would follow their channels, and I would try to find them again, and it was impossible. Because I would know their name was Eric, and there would be 10,000 Erics, or Mary or something. Yeah, Mary's. Yeah, that's why all the Marys are like Mary trees. You got to put an extra name, like Chris. There, let's cross the street here. So we're on Fremont Street here, trying to check out the Christmas decorations here. We'll just dodge back and forth here. You love this? Good. Thanks for coming back here. Thanks, Scott and Grandma's Corner and Lindsay and Cosmic Kitty. How you doing there? So we'll get everybody back. That's the shame of it. We had a good live there. We had almost 400 people watching, and then my screen cuts out because if I wouldn't have saw those searchlights, I wouldn't have zoomed into it. There we go. So Dayton Street. Here's the nice keyhole windows. See, they got the keyhole windows and that round window here. This is Dayton Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're just checking out holiday decorations here. Yeah, thanks for the compliment there. You had to scroll 5 times. Yeah. Well, at least you guys came back. Thanks for coming back here. So here's yeah, sorry I had technical difficulties. It's very frustrating because, believe me, I didn't want to end that live. We had 400 people tuning in, and now we only got, we got 137, so we're creeping back up. We'll see if we get back above 300 here. We'll get, once we, hopefully by the time we get to the house with all the Christmas trees, we'll be back up above 300. We'll see. Hey, thanks for watching on YouTube here. If you just joined, we're in Chicago. We're on Dayton Street in Chicago. I know it's confusing. And we're almost down to Webster. And we'll probably head down towards Armitage, and then we'll cross over and go down Burling Street. There's Glasgott's is over there, Halstead Street. I want to stay on this residential street to check out Christmas decorations. Halstead has some nice storefronts there. There, Dayton Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got 6:16 in the PM, and we got about 29 degrees, or upper 20s, whatever it is. Chance of snow on Sunday. Oh, Chris told me some sad news. So the architect, Frank Gehry, the architect that designed the Pritzker Band Show in Chicago and the Balboa Museum of Spain, he passed away. So Frank Gehry, the architect, is up there in architect heaven with Helman Jan and Mies van der Rohe and Louis Sullivan. But here, look at the nice Christmas decorations here. How you doing? And here, we'll keep going here. Yeah, look at the beautiful lights with the snow. Again, this is Dayton Street. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so those are those searchlights we've seen. I don't want to zoom in because that's how I messed up my other live. I zoomed in and then I got the black screen of death. I could film my face, but I couldn't film forward. It freaked me out. I was hacked. We were hacked. Yeah, Frank Lloyd Wright. He's up in Frank Lloyd Wright. All the architects are designed in heaven. They got unlimited budgets. Imagine the architecture in heaven. Here's hey, look at that Tudor style. Look at those. So, hey, this is Dayton Street. I'm gonna have to tie my shoe here, so once I find a place where I can sit on something and tie my shoe here, maybe well, there's people coming here, so I'll keep going here. Here's it's still early in the night. It's only, hey, there's the Bears fan. There's the Bears Santa. Yeah, there we go. So this is worth it. I'm glad we came this way. So hey, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Dayton Street here in Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got the Bear. Is this your place? I love your decorations. That's great. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Oh, you're delivering. Great, nice. Okay, good. So hey, yeah, see people getting their food delivered or whatever's getting delivered there. It's all kinds of stuff going on. Always deliveries and Coco driving around and. This is Dayton Street, but hey, I like the Bears. That's usually my luck. Usually when I try to film, like sometimes I'll be filming somebody's house and they'll come out their door. They're like, "What are you filming in my house?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. I love your house. I love your decorations." And like that, like I was filming that, and somebody came to deliver something, and I'm like standing there filming their yard, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" I'm a live streamer. Yeah, right. Hey, look at this nice holiday decor here. Yeah. Better Homes and Gardens. Yeah. So if Pritzker's a bad person, so is Trump, because they both, anybody in a leadership position, you got to make tough decisions, even on the left or the right. So, you know, any billionaire, any person in power is going to be despised by both sides, left and the right, because it's money, power, and greed, selfishness. And what are you going to do about it? What are you doing to make the world a better place? I complain a lot too. You can listen to my channel and listen to me complain. It doesn't solve anything. But hey, thanks for airing your grievances in the comments. I do it too. Feels good, right? Hit that send button. Hey, you really got me with that zinger. Wow, hit the send there. You feel good about yourself? Hit it again. Send. Yeah, I got some dopamine. Yeah, that's why they keep you coming back to watch the advertising. See, we're all hooked. You know, you think you're in control? How's here's Dayton Street, Lincoln. Well, I got to tie my shoe here, so let me find something to sit on here. So here I'm going to use my tripod here. Let's wait till we get some nice Christmas decorations. So I'll focus on some Christmas decoration while I tie my shoe here. And slip and fall, break my pretty little face. Tax cuts, yeah. Does anybody think the stock market will ever go down ever again? It only goes up. Every time it dips, people buy the dip. It never goes down. It only goes up. You know, so whatever money you got, it's all relative to the people that have more money or less money. You never catch up. You'll never catch up to people above you as long as they're fully invested. Here, let's. I'm trying to find a place I can sit down and tie my shoe here. No, I won't sit down. I'll just stand up. We'll do it right here. There, look at these nice holiday decorations here. This person's trying to park, and I'm trying to tie my shoe here. When you get old, middle-aged, and you got a big gut, and you lean over to tie your shoe, and you're like, ugh. You drop something on the floor, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta bend down and pick that up. Ugh. Up your gut. Tying my shoe in the snow here. Okay, good. Hey, how's that? Now I got snow all over my gimbal. It's gonna rust away. No, it's plastic. Here, let me turn that around there. Okay, welcome back. If you just joined, we're in Chicago. I was tying my shoe, and we're on Dayton Street. I got too much snow and ice in I can't retract my tripod here. There we go. Yeah, it's full of snow at the bottom. That's why. There, I got it back in. Okay, good. Look at the nice, we're filming Christmas decorations here on Dayton Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're going to head down to Burling and try to find that house we found earlier this week with all the Christmas trees in the windows. Hey, thanks for coming back, Naya and Dolores and everybody else here. Yeah, well, look at the nice decorations here. Sometimes I walk in the middle of street because then I can choose which side of the street I can go on. I don't have to keep crossing over so many snow piles. You got family on Burling? Okay, we'll check it out here. So we were there on Wednesday night, and we found the house with 14 Christmas trees and the 14 front windows across from the Parillo originally mansion. They sold it. I had to look it up too. Who were the Perillos that built that giant house on Burling's? They owned, or one of the owners of United Auto Insurance. And we just mourned the passing of Jobo. Jobo was one of the, Eddie and Jobo were the spokespeople for United Auto Insurance. That's why Jobo was always like, call or click today. And that was the Perillo family owned United Auto Insurance there. They built that big mansion. But here's Armitage. This is Armitage, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Yeah, we'll head right over to Halstead here. See nice boutique shops here. Go to Lori's. Lori's the soul of Chicago. We've gone in there. They got shoes and clothes and things. Yeah, let's just enjoy the view. We're not going to solve the world's problems tonight. Let's agree to disagree. I respect people's political viewpoints as different from mine because I realize I don't have all the information. What works for me doesn't work for somebody else. What I like, other people don't like. Most people wouldn't like living without a car. Most people wouldn't like walking 10 miles a day, but I do. And so find your joy, and don't crap on other people's joy. That's what it is. Find your own joy, and people will be naturally attracted to you. I mean, it's just do your own thing in your own time. I mean, look at you know, find your dance. Be like Adam, who they want. Here's yeah, we'll cross the street. God damn it, cars always want to run me over. Watch out for falling ice and snow. There, let's see what Leonidas is doing. Yeah, there's some really nice restaurants. There's the small Cheval, but if you want to go to the all Cheval, there's Leonidas, and then there's these sushi ramen places down there. There, we'll cross the street here. Hey, we'll go by the Marquee Lounge, Schlitz. It's got the Schlitz sign, but it doesn't have the Schlitz Tide House. Here, the Marquee Lounge here. This is Halstead, the Steppenwolf Theater's that way. There's those searchlights. And this is Armitage. Yeah, Chicago in the house there. Yeah, Ernie's tuning in there. Yeah, you know, Ernesto, Chicago Nuggies. Hey, look at happy holidays. So hey, we're almost to Burling here. So we'll make it right on Burling and we'll go check out the lights. Look how messed up this is. This wasn't shoveled and it's all messed up. Hey, they got a hole in the wall. Yeah, this is, I think they have Polish food here. It's called Spoko, S-P-O-K-O. So hey, here we made it. Burling Street, thanks for coming back. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. We're checking out the Christmas lights here in Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got 6:27 p.m. We got about 29 degrees, and we were here on Wednesday. Look at the beautiful Christmas decorations here. Again, this is Burling Street, south of Armitage, Lincoln Park, Chicago, about 3 miles north of the Loop of Chicago. And this is a very wealthy area, as you can tell, and that's why I chose to walk over here, because they got some spectacular Christmas decorations. Look at this. Wow, we got to cross the street. Okay, okay, we'll do this strategically. I got to keep crossing the street multiple times. And every time a car comes, and then it's just a conflict. But here we go. Okay, good. So, Burling Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Checking out the holiday lights here. And this is like one I think that's its own residence, and then this is a different one here. Look at that. But this is the, no, that's not it. It's further down. This is a nice place here. Yeah, they got some stuff here. Look at that. There we go. So we'll film this across the street. Can't even get the whole thing in here. So this is on Burling Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're just south of Armitage here. And we're almost to the house with the 14 Christmas trees, which is right there. Hey, look how the lights underneath the snow and the bushes. And yeah, look at that. That's a winter wonderland. Look at that scene there. Look how they decorate these trees. Thanks for coming back there. Look at the nice holiday lights here. Lincoln Park, Chicago. It's not disappointing. Burling Street. Yeah, this is better than the Lincoln Park Zoo lights. Jaguar. Yeah, Jaguar. Yeah, nice lights here. Look at these. Yeah. Trees on fire here. So I think this is where the Perillo estate begins here. Yeah, they got the nice garland here. See, look at this. This is one single family residence there. Look at that. That goes all the way back there. They got the nice garland here. But there it is. And look, I'm afraid to zoom in. If my screen goes black, yeah, it's going, oh, see, I made it go black there. See, I shouldn't have did this. Man. My screen's giving me technical difficulties when I stream in. So we'll have to do it this way. So here's the house. Here's the house with the 14 Christmas trees in it. So we're just going to film it this way. Thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago. And I'm on Burling Street here. I wanted to zoom into the Sears Tower because there's a nice view to the Sears Tower and it's lit up in red and purple, but there's a technical difficulty because of the cold, and I'm having problems with zooming in tonight. But here's the house with the 14 Christmas trees. There, let me make sure I get in the screen there. It's hard I'm filming it this way. There we go. So there it is. Look at that. We got reruns on this and stuff. So, you know what? I'm having technical difficulties. I'm really frustrated tonight that I wanted to film this, and I should not have zoomed in. Here, hold on a second here. So, yeah, let me spin back around here. How you doing, everybody? Thanks for tuning in here. So let's see if I can flip the screen around here. Yeah, I can't. There we go. Good, good, good. Oh, crap. I had it flipped and then it went back. Why does it do that? Let me see if I can get it back. Come on, flip, flip, flip. Come on, you can flip. It flipped and then it went back. Come on. Come on, you screen there. There, come on, stay, 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 stay. Good, good. Okay, I'm not gonna zoom in the rest of the night. I'm not gonna zoom in the rest of the night. So thanks for staying on here. Here's the house with the 14 Christmas trees. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. I think a hacker's messing with me. They knew I was trying to film this, and if I wouldn't have zoomed in, none of that would have happened. So here's the 14 Christmas trees here. This is on Burling Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. And here, let's get closer to it because it's got the nice antlers on the door there, the golden rack there. Look at that. It's a reindeer. It's a reindeer, three-dimensional golden reindeer on the door. And look at that. Look at the beautiful Christmas trees here. Thanks for dealing with the technical difficulties. It's not one thing, it's another. Here's the nice Perillo mansion here. There it is. So here, let's keep going. I'm sure the private security's watching me. There's private security on this street and Orchard. And that's what I'm going to try to do. We're going to try to go down Burling here to Willow, and then we'll cut over on Orchard. Yeah, here comes the security. So you're going to see here comes the security. They're making their rounds, and they know who I am. I've streamed here before. They'll probably ask me what I'm doing, which is fine. And sometimes they watch my live stream too. Which is great if you're tuning in. Hey, thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago here. We're on Burling Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're filming the Christmas decorations. There they are. Look at that. Wow. See, this is Burling Street. We'll cross the street here to get it. See, there they are. How you doing there? It's the security. They're checking everything out there. Make sure I didn't steal any Christmas trees. Look at that. It looks like the building's gift wrapped. That's nice. Yeah, I like that. Very nice. So here we'll go. I don't usually walk down these streets because these aren't on my way home from work. But we come over here for Halloween decorations, and we come over here for Christmas decorations sometimes. A lot of these are tear down rebuilds. These are newer buildings that they're not all. It is not as a historic part of Lincoln Park. Oh yeah, that's one house. That's the Perillo mansion. It's the largest house that I know of. Well, actually, no. They built one on Orchard that's just as large. We'll go buy it. Here's the security. How you doing? Here's the security here, and they're checking me out here to make sure I'm a live streamer, and which is good. You know, that's why I'm amused when, like in Halloween time, I'll be walking down these streets filming Halloween decorations, and you see the size of these houses, and people will be like, "Be careful, you're in Chicago." I'm like, you realize there's private security and there's cameras everywhere and some of the most expensive security systems in the world, and they don't want me on the street anyway because I don't live here, you know. I film, but they got beautiful. It's a public street, and it's free to walk down the street and free to check out the decorations, you know. So that's what we're doing here. And it shows you the streets and the sidewalks are the public aspects of cities. It allows us to connect to all the private areas, but you know, you have a public face to your building, just like you have a public face to your persona, and then you got your private stuff. And we're in the public here. People expect to have the same rights in the public as private, but you don't have. In private, you have more rights, like your car. Get out of my car. So I don't know if we can walk through this parking lot. I think there's an alley. We can take a shortcut. Well, okay, so bear with me. I know this is gonna be boring. There's a school here. We're gonna walk through this little parking street because I just want to cut over to Orchard Street, and we're gonna check out the Christmas lights here. We're just walking through the parking lot for the school here. One big house. Hey, Chicago loves you. Meet and greet. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I know everybody wants me to be like a tour guide. Everybody wants me to do what they want to do. I want to do what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is the tour. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's a good idea. You know, if there was one time that I'm sure they'll do it again. Nick Koiken and Overtime 7, Ernie, they organized, or I think Overtime 7, Nick did it. They organized like on the beach. Everybody just meet up on the beach one night after work. We did it. A bunch of live streamers showed up. People that tune in on live stream. Ruby showed up. Hung out with us. It was great. We could, I'm easy to find. If you're walking down here, you could go up and say hello. That's what happens all the time. People come from out of town. They find me on Michigan Avenue. Find me on the Riverwalk. It's great. I appreciate it. You can walk along with me here. We can take a tour here. I remember first time it happened, Danny found me on Michigan Avenue. He came walking down the street. We walked all through the Gold Coast up to Lincoln Park. It was great. He just walked along with me. And hey, here we go. So this is the house that we already showed in Halloween. And it has the columns here. Look at that. Wow, that's a nice. So this is Orchard Street. I don't want to zoom in because I'm going to mess up my camera. So I'm going to have to walk across the street. So we'll just do it this way. I'm learning a lesson where I don't have to zoom in to get the shot I want. This is actually better. So here, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Orchard Street. We're north of Willow and we're south of Armitage. Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got about 6:37 in the p.m. here, December the 5th, 2025. 29 degrees. Look at this beautiful house. This is the one that they had all the Halloween decorations, but look how nice they're decorated here for Christmas. Look at the green on the columns. I like the balcony there. Very nice. Very symmetrical. See, just subtle, throw the light up on the building there, the red and green. That's nice. It's easy. Throw some light on your building. You're very, very posh there. I like that. Yeah, and I still like the garland. But hey, there it is. What do you think of that? Is that nice? Show me my face. There, you want me to show you my butt too? Would that make you happy? I do that in the age of ice, to shame ice. I don't work for ice. Somebody, I know sarcastic liberals like me, we're assholes. Everybody hates us. We're annoying and petulant. I know we're the worst type of people in the world. I know. I agree. I have self-loathing myself, but this is who I am. So, okay. Anyway, you know that smart people on the right can be just as annoying and peevish as well. And I loved it. Somebody was like, I showed the 5 Santa Clauses blocking Michigan Avenue that were protesting. All 5 of those Santa Clauses got arrested later that night. And they knew they were going to get arrested. And they did it anyway, civil disobedience. And and you could see in my video that the 2 Santa Clauses on the right, they were wearing masks under their beards for the Santa thing. And somebody which is fine, this is their free speech. I actually had a good conversation with them. Not really a conversation. I replied politely. I didn't block them. They were like, and they're there's something conservative from Tennessee. I'm like, okay, do your worst. They're like, I thought people in Chicago don't like the mask. So there's a distinction. The Santa Clauses that were protesting, they weren't armed. They weren't trying to arrest people. They were protesting. So, it shows you, all these, and us on the left, we do it too. We make these false equivalencies. We're hypocrites, but so is the right's hypocritical too. I'll give you an example. The president pardoning a guy that shipped 400 tons of cocaine in the United States, the Honduran president. They're blowing up boats. Some people deserve to die. Other people get pardoned for doing the same thing. Doesn't make any sense. And it's just because I think the president knows he can use that guy for political purposes in Honduras. They got dirt on him, just like the CIA is like, you're working for us now. And Trump pardoned him and said, oh, you're working for me now. We're going to take over Honduras. You're going to help me do it because I got you out of jail. So hey, if you're going to do a true kleptocracy, don't just stop with the United States. You might as well steal from the entire world. Steal from Swiss banks. You could steal from Ukraine. You could steal from Palestine. It's wide open. You could say, oh, we're going to redevelop Palestine and make a bunch of money off of it. Yeah, let's do that. Here's welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Orchard Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're checking out the beautiful Christmas lights here. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good night. Yeah, we're seeing some good stuff tonight. And yeah, this is one single family residence here. Look at this, Orchard Street. 1942 North Orchard. Look at that. That's one house. That's one house here. I mean, it's like 7 lots wide. Look at that. That is amazing. Look at this. So hey, we're up to the Lincoln Park High School. Look at these beautiful lights here. Look at that. Let's check it out here. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, there's Santa. There's Santa hanging from the balcony. I like that. Very nice. Yeah, look at these trees. Hey, that sounds like a heated portalet. I think that's a heated portalet. There's Santa. And look, they got some penguins. There's some penguins on the ladder there. Look at that. They got Santa, and there's some penguins on the ladder there. Look at that. That's pretty good. So this is, again, is on Orchard Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Here we're south of Armitage. Hey, we'll cut over to Howell Street. We'll cut over to Howell, and we'll see if there's any opposite the Lincoln Park High School there. Yeah, the size of this house. Look at this. Look at this house. That's one house in the city. You know, imagine how much taxes. That's why I said, even if you could afford these houses, I bet you that's at least $30 million. At least $30 million. And even if you could afford the real estate value of the land and the housing, what's the real estate tax? And it's only going up, you know. And then you understand why the Perillos sold. They built that big house, and it was on the market, and the price kept coming down. Michael Jordan's house on the North Shore, the same problem. It was so big that no one could afford to pay the taxes on it. And it sat on the market for decades because no one could afford to buy it. It was too big, and it was too customized towards. If you could afford to buy it, you wouldn't want to buy his house. You would want to build a house the way you want it, not the way he had it built. You know, that's what it is. And it was 23 over everything. You really had to like the number 23. But I think you could rent it out. Like when I think it recently sold, and before it sold, you could rent Michael Jordan's house for March Madness. Like somebody rented it, and it'd be, there's a basketball court there. Imagine that. Say, come party at Michael Jordan's house for March Madness. Hey, how you doing there? Cheeto Kicks. Now I don't know who owns that. The only reason I know the Perillo mansion is because in 2023, when I first started walking down that street live stream, people would ask me about it, and I looked it up, and it was on the market at the time. And then I found out it was originally built by the United Auto Insurance Perillo family. But that other one we just saw, I don't know. You know, I generally know where Penny Prisker lives, which is the sister of J.B. Prisker, but you know, I don't want to like point that out. And J.B. Prisker owns property on Astor Street. We walk on Astor Street often here. So this is Howell Street, I think. Yeah, H-O-W-E. And this connects up to Oz Park. And we'll go by the Cowardly Lion because we'll go back that way. Yeah, I agree that, okay, I'll give you an example because I know everybody, you know, we're in America, so people are concerned about crime anywhere, but especially in this city and big cities. So it's a question I get most often about crime in the city, and, you know, do I feel safe or, you know, whatever. If I do go to areas that I would consider, like, you know, unsafe, you know, for live streaming, I would do it in the wintertime. Like when I went, I've been to O-Block several times. I've always gone there in the fall and the winter. I've never gone there in like the middle of the summer. And same with like Garfield Park. I'll go to Garfield Park in the winter. and walk around. But I don't really choose to go there much in the summer. You know, it's just I'm a lazy live streamer. I know it. We've gone to the conservatory, and again, I go there in the wintertime because it's a conservatory and it's better to go there. Oh, sorry. So here we'll head up Powell Street, and we'll check out. Yeah, see, there's the Lincoln Park High School, and but it's just because there's, you know. But the other problem is there's nobody on the street, so there's nobody to hear you scream. So that's the other problem, and we learned that during COVID, like during the George Floyd protest. There was like nobody on the street in the middle of the night, and that's why it was so, because there was no one there to help you if someone like jumped you. You know, you were just, it was like you were in an abandoned city. It was weird, and I think that's when people's perceptions and fears increased. But we don't realize in the 1970s and 60s in this city, and even the 80s and 90s in certain areas, it was still pretty, it's still, you know. But we're in Lincoln Park, that's why I'm like, come on. Bad things happen to good people, good things happen to bad people. Welcome to the world of diminishing returns. But hey, thanks for checking out the holiday decorations. I'll try to work out these technical difficulties. I think it has something to do with the cold. It only happens when I try to zoom in. When I try to zoom in, the screen goes black. And see, we could walk straight up. But here, I see some Christmas lights this way, so we'll go this way. Yeah, look at this. Here, let's cross the street even. Here, this is Oz Park, part of Lincoln Park, Chicago, the neighborhood. There's the... Hey, they just got it around the windows there. It's nice. No, this is Chicago, United States, Illinois, Lincoln Park. Hey, there's the full moon. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people filming the full moon there. I don't want to zoom in. That's the problem. I've been losing my screen when I zoom in. It might be this phone. Hey, we got piles of snow. Deming and Geneva. Hey, that's great. Yeah, Geneva Terrace. That's good. Yeah, that's a nice area. We walk up there sometimes. We walk down Arlington and Deming and Orchard. I live near Clark and Fullerton, so that's where I'm heading back that way. Here we're at Halstead. No, those Larrabee. Excuse me, Larrabee and Dickens. Larrabee and Dickens. And here's the Cowardly Lion. We filmed them again. We filmed them twice within a week. I don't usually film the Cowardly Lion because I usually don't get to this side of Oz Park. There's the Cowardly Lion, Oz Park here, Lincoln Park, Chicago. There's the Lincoln Park High School right over there. See Oz Park. And here we'll cross Larrabee here, and we'll head over to Cleveland Street, I think. So I'm gonna eat dinner at home tonight. I got some stuff to cook. Usually I cook for myself in the age of inflation. You know, I don't eat out as much as I used to because I can't afford to, and I have a good job. You know, if we don't think this isn't affecting our economy, it is, you know. And I know they're going to cook the books there, and they're going to say, you know, they're going to keep inflation just enough so Fed can keep lowering interest rates that please the market. And we're in this Goldilocks period that never ends, where everybody just keeps locked relative to the wealth of people above or below them. And with us at the bottom, and we feel it more because we feel it's like slipping away, like the bottom's slipping out from under us. And the people that are at the top, they're doing fine in this economy. They're actually doing great because all the money trickles up. It doesn't trickle down. We get pissed on, you know. That's what happens to us. Because we're working paycheck to paycheck. Here's here's a nice housing here. Hey, there's the Nightmare Before Christmas. There's Jack. Jack's still there. That's great. Wonder if it's left over from Halloween. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I got stuff in the freezer. We'll figure it out. Everybody plan their meals. I guess you got your big Friday night. Everybody got date night tonight, or you gonna sit by the fireside there? So Hey, we're almost home here. We got 6:51. Yeah, I usually don't like to stream much past 7 o'clock for multiple reasons. I like to stay within certain time slots because then people know when to find me. Where, you know, and I missed it this morning. Thanks for letting me take a break this morning. I do feel I was getting worn down there. You do exert more energy walking in the cold than you do in the warm. But you get, you know. Hey, let's check out this whirligig here. There's a cardinal here. There's that gnome library. This is this little park. We usually pass that gnome hall over there. The wings were twirling and then it stopped. See that little, there it goes. There's the wings turning around. There's the cardinal. Ah. So it's the 6-way intersection, Lincoln, Cleveland, and Dickens. Yeah, I think you're in good company there, Mike. Yeah, we're you know, isn't it amazing how we were forced to learn how to do meals, or at least, you know, order the meal kits or something during the pandemic, and then I think that's when I shifted. I really started cooking from home and eating from home. Before the I would, you know, I still eat out my lunchtime downtown. You know, when I work in the office, I'll just get lunch downtown. You know, I usually eat at my desk. Because I walk during my live streams for this, or my lunch times for this. There's the Nucci's, there's Gemini. I can't zoom in because there's something messed up with my screen here. So we're waiting to cross Lincoln here. Okay, so Lincoln Park is a very gentrified, expensive neighborhood. The demographics are largely white, but there are pockets of African American and black down by the Marshall Field Garden Apartments and north of North Avenue, where Evergreen Terrace. Well, that's over in Old Town, and Green used to be down there, but they tore it all down, and it changed the demographics a lot. And Lincoln Park became really gentrified, especially in the 1990s, 2000s, and it's perceived as probably one of the most expensive, wealthy, north side, white, wealthy liberal. Listen to what I'm saying. There are conservatives. I saw one or two people wearing MAGA hats in Lincoln Park, but that's rare. That's very rare to see in this area. But really the most expensive neighborhoods are downtown right now. Like it's not even the Gold Coast. It's like West Loop, like Fulton Market's really expensive. Lakeshore East and Streeterville are really expensive, and River North was always expensive. Well, not always, but recently. And you know, there's wealthy areas on the north or south side. You can go to Kenwood or Hyde Park or Beverly on the far south side. It almost feels like you're in the suburbs. You know, on the far northwest side, the Sauganash, it feels like you're in the suburbs. Here's Chicago's pretty vast. Here's we're on Cleveland Street here, Lincoln Park, Chicago, just checking out the Christmas decorations. I'm almost home here, so we'll wrap it up here. Thanks, mods, and everybody else. Thanks for coming back on the second live here. I know it's so confusing, but that's why. Thanks for subscribing. If we lose, you know, you can go to my page there and see if I'm live or not and get notified and all that. The Bears. Yeah, we'll see if the Bears beat Green Bay. What time they play on Sunday? I need to look it up there. Who won last night? It was the Cowboys versus the Lions, right? I didn't even pay attention to it. Yeah, have a good night. Have a good weekend there. Thanks, Margie. Yeah, have a great night there. Grim Evil. Yeah, hey, Grim Evil. Happy Krampus Day. Thanks for sending the Krampus videos there. Yeah, from Austria. Yeah, tomorrow's St. Nick's Day.